Welcome to our exploration of the legendary kamikaze and its profound historical significance. The term, kamikaze, originally referred to a revered wind in ancient Japan, seen as a divine will. Historically, it became prominent during the Mongol invasions in 1274 and 1281, when typhoons thwarted the invading forces. This event left an indelible mark on the Japanese psyche, symbolizing divine intervention. Fast forward to World War II, the concept of kamikaze evolved into a powerful symbol of sacrifice with the formation of special attack units. These pilots, driven by loyalty and duty, embodied a spirit of self-sacrifice, often justifying their missions through a sense of honor and allegiance. In today's video, we will delve into the origins, strategies, and the psychological landscape of these valiant warriors. Join us as we uncover the layers of meaning behind the kamikaze and its lasting impact on Japanese identity and wartime perception. The origin and historical background of kamikaze. The term, kamikaze, refers to a wind that was revered in ancient Japan. In particular, within Shinto, it has been seen as a manifestation of divine will. This concept is historically tied to significant events in Japanese history. One of the most prominent occurrences was during the Mongol invasions in 1274 and 1281. During these invasions, typhoons struck, effectively repelling the Mongol forces. This phenomenon was then referred to as kamikaze, or divine winds. As a result, the concept of kamikaze became deeply etched in the hearts of the Japanese people. It transcended mere natural occurrences, symbolizing divine protection and the fate of Japan. Now, let's shift our focus to World War II, where kamikaze took on a new significance. During this tumultuous time, the concept was again invoked as a symbol of the special attack units, or kamikaze pilots. As the war situation grew dire, these pilots justified their acts of self-sacrifice through the spirit of kamikaze. These young men sought to alter the course of battle through suicide attacks against enemy ships. Their actions were framed as symbols of loyalty and ultimate sacrifice. Next, let's explore how the concept of kamikaze has woven itself into the fabric of Japanese culture and history. Kamikaze embodies self-sacrifice and loyalty, making it a vital element in Japan's historical narrative. Especially, kamikaze is deeply rooted in the Japanese perspective on war and national consciousness. Even after the war, its influence continued to resonate within Japanese society. For instance, in post-war Japan, the spirit of kamikaze was reinterpreted as a symbol of peace and reconstruction. This evolution allowed kamikaze to transcend mere memories of war, becoming a significant part of modern Japanese cultural identity. Thus, the term kamikaze holds a multifaceted significance throughout Japanese history. From ancient times to the present day, it has been discussed in various contexts. Understanding the origins and historical background of kamikaze is key to delving deeper into Japanese culture and national consciousness. The training and preparation of the Kamikaze Corps. The establishment of the Kamikaze Corps took place in 1944, during a time when Japan's war situation was becoming increasingly dire. During this period, Japan found itself at a disadvantage in the war against the Allied forces. As a result, the Kamikaze Corps was created as a last resort to turn the tide of the conflict. Kamikaze pilots received special training aimed at deliberately crashing their aircraft into enemy ships. This training was unlike that of regular fighter pilots, as it focused on a unique mission. In addition to mastering flying techniques, mental preparation was also heavily emphasized during their training. The spirit of self-sacrifice was instilled in these pilots, shaping their mindset for the mission ahead. Many of the selected young men volunteered out of loyalty to their families and country. The training was extremely rigorous, simulating conditions close to actual combat scenarios. This simulation prepared them to commit to their mission with a sense of readiness to sacrifice their lives. Next, let us delve into the various aspects involved in the preparation of the Kamikaze Corps. Preparation included not only the maintenance of the aircraft but also the formulation of tactical strategies. All these elements were deemed critical in turning the tide of the war. The training of the kamikaze pilots transcended mere technical skills. It sought to cultivate profound mental strength. Despite understanding the horrors of war, these pilots were resolute in their commitment to sacrifice themselves for their nation. Their training was not just about military preparation, it was rooted in deep beliefs and loyalty. This aspect symbolizes the strength of the human spirit in the midst of war. The existence of the Kamikaze Corps narrates the tragedy of war, yet their courage and spirit of self-sacrifice continue to inspire many. The training and preparation of the Kamikaze Corps represented not just a tactical approach, but also a vital aspect of human dignity and conviction within the landscape of war. The tactics and strategies of the Kamikaze Special Attack Units. During World War II, the Kamikaze Special Attack Units employed a unique tactic that involved sacrificing their own lives to carry out suicide attacks against enemy ships. This strategy aimed not only at physical destruction but also at delivering a significant psychological shock to the enemy. The kamikaze pilots sought to undermine enemy morale by offering their own lives in the process. The strategy of the kamikaze was to attack enemy supply lines and fleets, thereby shifting the momentum of the war in Japan's favor. They often targeted enemy ships during night operations or in bad weather, as these conditions allowed them to bypass enemy defenses more effectively. Kamikaze attacks could be carried out individually, or multiple pilots would launch simultaneous assaults, emphasizing the importance of coordination in their tactics. Unlike conventional aerial warfare, kamikaze tactics involved direct attacks on enemy ships, which carried an extremely high level of risk. In fact, many kamikaze pilots accepted their fate before even taking off on their missions. The activities of the kamikaze continued until the end of the war, resulting in the loss of numerous lives. The tactics of the kamikaze symbolize the tragic aspects of war and provoke thought about its inhumanity. They represent a unique phenomenon in the history of warfare and continue to spark much debate today. The actions of the kamikaze can be seen as symbols of human courage, despair, and patriotism in the context of war. Their actions were not merely a tactic, they carried profound meaning behind them. The lives and psychology of kamikaze pilots. The lives of kamikaze pilots were filled with self-sacrifice and loyalty within the context of war. These individuals volunteered for the kamikaze missions driven by their deep feelings for their families and their country. After undergoing rigorous training, they faced the harsh realities of combat. Before each mission, kamikaze pilots prepared themselves for death, picturing their loved ones in their final moments. Their psychology was marked by a strong sense of duty towards the war and a profound sense of responsibility to protect their nation. However, they also grappled with fear and anxiety. Yet, through the bonds formed with their comrades and the mental fortitude developed during training, they sought to overcome these emotions. Next, let's delve into the internal conflicts faced by many of these pilots before their missions. It is important to recognize that their lives were not merely stories of heroism, they were filled with deep human drama. Kamikaze pilots embodied the tragic aspects of war, and their actions were not simply a matter of following orders. Rather, these actions were based on individual beliefs and values. Many chose to give their lives to protect their families or their country, symbolizing the essence of self-sacrifice in wartime. To truly understand the psychology of kamikaze pilots, we must consider the conflicts and fears they faced. Moreover, we need to examine how the bonds with their comrades influenced their decisions. The lives of these pilots illustrate both the strength and fragility of human nature amidst the horrors of war. Their stories continue to resonate with many people today, reminding us of the profound impacts of war on the human spirit. The international impact of kamikaze. The actions of the kamikaze special attack units represented a very unique aspect of Japan's war strategy during World War II. These units embodied an extreme spirit of self-sacrifice, as they would crash their planes into enemy ships, sacrificing their own lives in the process. This extreme behavior not only instilled fear in enemy forces but also highlighted the inhumanity of war itself. The actions of the kamikaze were a stark reminder of the virtues of self-sacrifice in the midst of war, while simultaneously illustrating the horrors and senselessness of such conflicts. In particular, in the United States, the existence of the kamikaze was regarded as an important element in understanding Japan's perspective on warfare. American media covered the actions of the kamikaze in an effort to deepen their understanding of Japanese culture and values. Moreover, the existence of the kamikaze influenced the post-war relationship between the United States and Japan. Through the lens of the kamikaze, the United States sought to comprehend the Japanese attitude towards war and the consciousness of its people, which in turn informed their approach to post-war recovery and peace-building efforts. Next, let's delve deeper into the international perspective on the kamikaze's actions. The actions of the kamikaze represent an important theme when considering the memories and lessons of war from an international standpoint. While these actions conveyed the horrors of war, they also provoke thought on how the spirit of self-sacrifice can be manipulated within the context of war. The existence of the kamikaze has sparked discussions regarding human psychology and ethics in wartime, making it a crucial element in conveying the lessons of war to future generations. Thus, the actions of the kamikaze special attack units offer more than just military strategy, They provide numerous lessons from an international perspective. The presence of the kamikaze continues to be a significant theme when considering the inhumanity of war, the virtue of self-sacrifice, and the memory of conflict. In reflecting on these themes, we are reminded of the complex nature of warfare and the motivations that drive individuals to such extreme actions. As we conclude this segment, it's vital to recognize how the legacy of the kamikaze impacts our understanding of war, sacrifice, and humanity's ongoing quest for peace. As we conclude our exploration of the concept of kamikaze, it's essential to reflect on its profound historical significance. Originally seen as a divine wind in ancient Japan, kamikaze became a symbol of sacrifice during the Mongolian invasions in the 13th century. This concept evolved dramatically during World War II, where it represented the ultimate act of loyalty and self-sacrifice among the kamikaze pilots. These brave individuals undertook rigorous training, preparing both mentally and physically for their missions, with a strong sense of duty to their families and country. The psychological complexity of these pilots adds depth to our understanding of their actions, showcasing not only courage but also the human struggle with fear and anxiety. The legacy of kamikaze continues to influence Japan's national consciousness and cultural identity, reminding us of the sacrifices made in the name of duty. If you found this discussion insightful, please consider subscribing to our channel for more content that delves into historical narratives and their implications. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below.